because it's really not good news to have storm chances for Northwest Indiana today, because no lights, no air conditioners, no power for 2 weeks. It's been such a frustrating stretch for so many residents, thousands of them in Northwest Indiana, ever since those strong storms knocked out their electricity. Many want to know, everyone wants to know, why did this take so long to restore power? Can these outages be prevented? Lots to talk about. We have Indiana State Rep Earl Harris Jr. joining us this morning live on the show. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, happy to be with you. Thank you.
I wish we were talking about something better, but it's important conversation here because your district lies in Lake County. That includes
Correct.
Parts of Gary impacted by the outages. First, I just want to know, what are you hearing from constituents? And I'm sure a lot of even family members and friends that live in Gary.
You know, you use the word frustrated, and that really is it. We're talking 2 weeks, and I think if not 100%, we're almost at 100% in the city of Gary with power back. But people are bothered that it took so long, the impact it's had on their life, having to throw out food. What about those that have medicine that has to be refrigerated, living in the dark? People have had to go and stay other places. So a lot of frustration at how long it's taken.
And speaking of that, NIPSCO says it understands that people are frustrated, that every outage is a priority. Is that enough? What do you want to see from NIPSCO now?
I can tell you from either telephone calls I've received or calls to my office, it's not enough. People are bothered and they want answers as to why this happened, what wasn't in place. We've heard stories of vegetation that was overgrown that NIPSCO did not take care of, also an aged grid that was not upped. They requested, I believe they received some $2 billion from customers to do upgrades. And I think that's going to be part of the investigation is why weren't we ready? And with more weather coming today and the beginning of next week, I'm sure there's a lot of nervousness.
And you sit or head the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus, and you're going to already get people together and talk about utilities and these concerns even before this happened, right?
Yeah, we have a focus every year. So we had already decided for 2027, utilities were going to be our focus, and we've been doing town halls all over the state. Okay. This is changing the conversation because now we have to think about what happened and think about legislative ideas to prevent and stop this kind of failure from happening again.
And that's, I think, so much of the question, too. There's the problem, then there's the root of it. What happened, what should have happened that didn't. There is now a state disaster relief fund to help families impacted by this particular storm. Can you talk about that? Can families apply? How much is available potentially? Yeah,
families are already applying. That was already put in place. So families can receive up to $5,000. That'll help with things like the loss of food and other things that they've had to do. For some families, it might be enough, but for some families, it may not. You also have the lack of power, which means no refrigerator, which also impacted medicine. And for a lot of people, having that medicine replaced is probably not going to happen.
And I know we saw grocery stores that didn't have power, so they couldn't stay open. So you're talking about an area that dealt with food insecurity in the past, seeing that just elevate to a level that I don't think any of us could have ever thought could happen.
Yeah, this is, for me, part of the conversations I'm having with people is what do we as individuals need to do to be prepared for the next time? I would love to say this was a one and done, but I'm not convinced of that. So what do we need to do in terms of generators, power stations, dry ice access, all those things now, which then cost money, which a lot of people necessarily don't have. So that's going to put more financial strain. Yeah,
that strain felt, we've seen it with the long lines, it just giveaways. I mean, there's so much need there.
Gas stations were just incredible because people have generators. And so I talked to a friend of mine and he said they were in line for an hour and a half for his generator.
I'm not surprised to hear that, for sure. Indiana State Rep Earl Harris Jr., thank you so much for joining us, for sharing in this conversation, because we just got to keep it going, for sure.
Appreciate your time today. Thank you.